Hey guys, welcome to WutheringWaves. Yeah, we're playing the Paris Film Festival. Like, and seems like we're like trapped in here. Lights flicker on. You're back in the theater again. Theater I didn't deliver. The dream like well you imagined. It's like you just nodded off in your sleep. What's going on, Abby? You there? Response: Abby is still asleep, fast asleep. You slip back into the same hallway where you first met the film producer. His film crew is there, so is the detective. You made it Rex. To be honest, Solaris is facing some unexpected issues. We've lost our connection with the other layers of the Samnoa. I'm afraid we're all trapped here. Stunt PT, stunt double. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Did someone deliberately cut the connection? Where are all the posters? Hey, what's that on the wall? Daily life vlogger cannot read. Skull's writing first puzzle. The submerged slumberer stares. Ready to rise. There goes for your creations. Only one shall survive after the curtain falls. Some macabre joke. When did that writing get here? Would be bored enough to do something like that? Just put up to check cinema corridors and equipment for any issues. Well, then do we really have to do that? I'm not loving the vibe right now, but if so, there's someone else who wrote it. This is the classic. This is the classic who done it. Straight out of suspense film. Very kept detective. It's a proclaimed detective swears cast strange tension over the room. Come now, everyone. Let's all gather back in 15 minutes. For a brief discussion, the group splits into pairs to search for clues as the director suggested. But at the same time, sorry. You know what? Looks like you're my sidekick in this Rex. Very kept detective. Why can't I be the detective? Don't trust it. You'll get your mama. You're the sidekick. She's the one the audience relates to most. But they're also the key to cracking mystery. In the end, it's the sidekick who cracks through that in the detective can't see. Sounds familiar, right? Alright, partner. Oh, and just so you know, I'm exactly the fighting type. I mean, look at me. If things get dicey, it's all up to you.
Hopefully this helps.
The shadowy corridor of the cinema, movie posters strikes your gaze. Beneath the looming silhouette of a colossal iron tower, two young girls stand. Their gaze is fixed on a point far beyond the horizon, engrossed in idle chatter. It's for some real matter. Okay, the project finally made progress on deciphering that light. So what exactly is it? progress, not a chance. The light only existed for less than a second this year. The fact that our disease managed to detect 5 times in a row is already been a miracle. Become design and stunt double. Okay.
I shall lead the way. Sacred light. Our lights shine through. Strike fast. Evil be cleansed. Fluorescent shadows. That would end.
Ling Yang.
The night's challenge has arrived. The night's challenge has arrived.
If some wondering, you find yourself back at Theatre 1, the place where you watch your first film together. Once they played a story about heroes, they fought together. And the theatre is quiet, too quiet. You sense something dangerous lurking here. Stay back, leave it to me. Sensing your readiness, the shadows ride in the dark and pull us into nightmares. They are not your friends. To look at that, yes, we're not in suspense anymore. This is now a horror flick. Didn't see them here the first time. Right now I'm at an audience this street. They're coming right at us. It's all up to you now. Go fight them, my dear associate.
The night's challenge has arrived. You won't escape.
Nightmares have found their way into the cinema now. How did this happen? They must have reached this place from the depths of the Somme Noir. This so-called Cinema Solaris is really just a special sonorous sphere inside the Somme Noir. The connection is broken and the protection fades. Things hiding in the dark start calling out. Like jackals fighting over the carcass of their prey. She lets out a self-mocking chuckle. Somehow you get the feeling she knew this day would come. That's the case, the other cinema searching might be in danger. Hey, if you're here, you might catch a glimpse of the crime scene. I just want to lighten the mood. I'm a renowned detective. I don't really want to solve cases day in and day out.
The night's challenge has arrived. Such is their blessing. Purge the impure. You find no signs of nightmares in Theatre 2, but the cold air still gnaws at you. Okay. Looks like we're too late. You see a figure slumped in the seats. There's some double you met earlier. Skin is deadly pale from blood loss, and beneath there is a dark wound of dark clothing red. Blood is running out around her. Cause of death, arterial rupture. The wound's only a few centimeters, just long enough to slice the artery with no other injuries. Signs of those tattoos Scottish we saw earlier. Clean murder. Time of death is about 10 minutes ago. The victim was attacked on the front. It's clear she was kicked by a single blow while facing her attacker. From the switch in her turn, it's clear she's really is a detective. The murderer is about 10 feet centimeters taller than the victim. That said, we can't rule out the possibility that there could be some odd stance. So the height difference could be off. Unfortunate, really, the only one we can rule out is the boy in charge of video editing. Isn't there a chance the murderer is a tested squad who fits that profile? Have you ever seen a tested squad leave a body this intact? If you don't buy my logic, just hook it up with that 10th person. But aren't you curious? Wasn't she paired up with the makeup artist? The blood splatters lead you to the other end of the theatre, where the makeup artist is slumped against the wall and stands double crime scene. Is really still, as if she were only asleep. Makeup kit she always carries is on the floor, its contents scattered everywhere, and the clutch in her right hand is a single edged eyebrow razor, a perfect match for the murder weapon. With the left cut, your dad really clean cut, same as a stunned double. It suggests a healthy razor in her dominant hand to end her own life. Bravo, glad to see you're not fooled by surface level theatrics. So whether it's the blood stains, the weapon or the crime scene, there's no solid proof of a third party aspects, but they led you to believe the murder is someone else. Unlock ending turmoil or Jinxie joined your team. But for a detective, that alone isn't enough. We exist for the full truth, and of all the clues in the world, only 3 pillars of reduction: who, how, and why never lie. Will detective never ignores motive. It's always one of the key questions that lead you to the answer. Getting lost in logic can make you look the simplest fact, the will to survive. Something's off here. There's no blood on the victim's fingers or the inside of her sleeves. She's in front back, but even someone about it at all will struggle a bit before the lights go out. Congratulations, you got it right. I knew I wasn't wrong, but you read next. What's that next one? This is just another misdirection. Let her try, but it wasn't what took her down. Feeling under slick forensic expert right now. Given the scene, it's pretty clear the victim took a hit earlier. Probably paralyzed, suffocated, or knocked out cold. Staged to look like a suicide. It's the only way this whole lack of resistance makes sense. But how did the murderer pull it off? Still, it's about time to meet up with the others. Let's head back and fill them in on what we found. What these 2 bodies like hold in cinema. As the first one's on the scene, you choose not to disturb it. Despite the cinema growing more unstable by the minute, since losing its connection to sound noir. The evidence doesn't point to a nightmare has a discord, but a human. Quickly head back to the central hall. The others need to know what happened in theater 2. A report about the murders in theatre hits like a slap. That must be in the whole features. Then the dam breaks, shouting, crying, and wild accusations. Some will say you and the detective. Others often like to play the witness. You get the lighting technician's accusation. No, I saw the elusive 10th fear talks first. The producer manages to pull everyone back from the edge barely, but then to everyone's surprise, the director insists on staying behind it instead of joining the rest of the group. The cause of death for those who laid is crystal clear. You doubting my judge here, director? Are you looking for more clues or hiding something? We don't know how they were murdered. How did the killer do it? Some kind of chemical, a hidden device, or maybe a forte ability. I lost my own judgment. Thank you very much. In this, the lighting technician also changes her mind. She insists saying she can't wait to leave her. Thanks, buddy. I'm not intended. Hearing this, the lighting technician also changes her mind. She insists saying she can't bear or leave her colleagues, but is unintended. Fine, good luck, you two. Wait, seriously, that's it? 2 people are dead, we should at least... Yeah. If we don't crack this fast, we're all going to die here. The longer we are cut off from the sun noir, the more this place gets warped by whatever is crawling up from the deeper layers. Rex and I already have ran into some nightmares. You know to testify the detective's birds. The news kills whatever the camera operator and film editor were about to say, but the producer just stares at you, then checks his buttons with a suddenly decisive hand. For the sake of our departed colleagues, we must stop the paranoia and finger pointing. Let's come together and go to the bottom of this. The murderer is still in the cinema. We don't know how they did it or what they used. But if anyone doesn't want to join the search, the Central Hall is the safest place left. We can stay behind. What's your plan? Continue searching. We'll reconvene every 10 minutes. 2 more rounds to suffice to investigate all the remaining theaters. If anyone's late, we'll immediately rally to their aid. Okay. Quiet child, film editor. Okay, the boy hiding behind the camera operator nods and dispelled the first to break the silence. His voice small but clear. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have accused you. That's the producer's right. Just I can't wrap my head around any of this. You go ahead. I'll catch up soon. My condolences. The detective throws you a wink. You get it loud and clear. The two of you leave the theatre without looking back. One by one, the rest of the crew follows you. Somewhere in the winding way, something foul begins closing on you. Others might be in danger. Hurry up, my dear associate. These nightmares are putting up more and more often. No need to panic. You've dealt with them before, right? They're like moths drawn to the brightest light. If they sneak into the cinema's sonorosphere, they'll only zero in on whoever's rating the strongest emotions and frequencies. Everyone else is just emotional lesbian. But we're different, I think. You'll understand that soon enough. When you reach Theatre 3, someone unexpected is there. The film producer, pale and shaken, leans against the entrance, collar loose, shoulders trembling. Whatever he just faced his second nipple. It's Cuff. It's you, my apologies. Must be catching cold. Me too. Can you two get the others quickly? Who was it this time? The director. The scene is messy. If you want to investigate, I'll go get the others first. Inside the theatre is wrecked, and there he is, what's left of the man they once called director. What a scene, every blow landed on the head. His face is purple. Looks like we can only ID him by clothes and wind. Scan the seats and the floor around you. Nothing stands out, save for the flickering fire cabinet light. The murder weapon might have been a big hammer or a metal bat. But that doesn't quite fit either. Someone tore at his clothes. There's blood all over the collar, wrist and finger. It must have been a fierce fight. Dex, can you find anything that could be the weapon? Nothing. Why can't I do that? Oh, there's multiple endings. Souls beyond the black hole. Theatre 3. Wait. With the tools we've got running tests on these places is pretty much a no-go. This is tough Rex. Any ideas? Theatre 3. You recall the true motive of the system's rebellion in the third film. It's been playing the long game, masquerading as an obedient heir long before it's never just about you. Well, total dominion of sonorosphere. The murderer's motive is scrawled on that wall. They're not targeting anyone in particular, but to survive. What if they think that's the only way to leave this place? Could be, but right now everyone has the motive to want out of here. You also can't rule out the possibility of a 10th person. Words hanging in there as you mentally tell the survivors, then it hits you, something you overlooked. Oh no, we need to hurry. Probably think that with so few people left, the innocent hall isn't safe anymore, huh? You really are natural at this drug stage. So if something else happens, just like I said before, she turns and she gives you in place. You'll be the one to piece together the truth. Okay, I'm gonna pause and then After passing through the corridor covered with posters, you finally return to the central hall. Film producer Warren and Freight is laying out the situation up to the two brothers, the camera operator and the film editor. The arguments don't hit as hard as they once did. It's because half the crew is gone. With the lighting person, or like lighting technician, maybe it's corridor lights dim, the carpet stretch ahead like serpent tongues. Something I can find. Things have really taken sharp turn for the worse. They leave life logger, camera operator. Look, sorry, but I'm not trusting anyone right now. Right now, the two outsiders are most suspicious. All this talk of how the kill is doing. Meanwhile, she's a resonator, right? We've all seen it. She's that kind of ability to be impossible to pull this off. You're losing it. Stop jumping conclusions. I saw them approaching from the opposite direction near Theatre 2's entrance. I can watch for them. The film producer lifts his hand, calms everyone down. You notice that his palms are swollen. That's because they're the ones who did it. Haven't you heard? Murderers always go back to admire there. Where did you find the suspect, huh? You got some nerve coming back here. It was you two, wasn't it? Admit it. Since you arrived, this cinema said nothing but Pisapra optimism. Ugh, talking to it is such a pain. You really think Rexlex would need to sneak you around to take you out? Everyone, please calm down. The lighting technician still hasn't returned yet. We didn't see her during the research. Yeah, lighting technician. Like I didn't. She's still not here. Well, that's. Well, no one's seen her since we left Theatre 2. It's well past the agreed time. She hasn't returned by now. Could she already be? Let's go find her. Wait, she's alone. If you find her, how can you prove you're not the murderer? They just say Rex Dex wouldn't need to. Yeah, sure, but what if this whole time the murderer isn't Rex Dex but you? What if they're just using Rex as an alibi? Can you guarantee that the state Rex Dex is not separating us? Both of you, please stay calm, Mr. Detective. I must insist that you remain with us in the hall and await Rex Dex's findings. I believe you are correct on one point. Considering motive and method, Rex Dex is the only one amongst us who can be reasonably cleared of suspicion at this time. The camera operator who moments ago looked red by through seal final lens, now he just stares at you in silence. And as for the lighting technician, I suppose you must entrust the matter to Rex Dex. Fine, alright, I didn't think it would come to this. The detective shrugs and throws up her hands. The chair squeezes as she drags it back and slumps into it. Rex Dex, come here, like we said. This is yours now. She reaches up and removes the signature beret from her head, handing it to you with a solemn gesture. In any proper detective story, the detective can't be the killer. So here, take this and go uncover the truth. A great detective story ends here. Now this mystery is yours to crack. Theatre 4 looms before you. Not long ago, you were sharing Act 4 here. You draw a breath and step inside. The air inside bites. It's almost chilling as what you felt in Theatre 2. Not far ahead, the lightning technician lies motionless in the aisle, still silent. The only light comes from the flickering fire cabinet and the pale glow of the blank screen. Time of death approximately 20 minutes ago, almost the same time as the murder in Theatre 3. But this one's different. No blood, no struggle, no signs of a cleanup, just the body left as it fell. How was all of this done? What? Who? How? Why? If there's anything here that even resembles a clue, it's the lighting. Technician's face. The dim theatre lights carve an unusually deep shadow across their features. Shadow, an unusually deep shadow. With a flicker of your foretail, the light spills into the darkness, and there it is. Her lips and cheeks are tinged blue. The truth is clear as the malice that drove the murderer's hands. asphyxiation. On the marks, the signs of a struggle. Without a doubt, the victim died helplessly, suffocated in silence. The chill in the air clings to you, a knowing reminder of that grim possibility. Something lingers here, not presence, but intent. Like the crime itself hasn't fully left. Your gaze lifts. The fire cabinet's light flickers weakly. The crew loved this cinema so much that they outfitted every theater with these empty vessels. The detective's beret shifts on your head, and with it a memory returns. A word from the first time you met. When you have eliminated the impossible, what it remains, however improbable, must be the truth. You should head back. This final round of investigation is done. Although the lack of nightmares in theatre for left you surprised, this time lift the curtain. Sani and Phoebe joined. Okay, I'm gonna just skip.
Dark forces approach. Answer me! Silence!
Narration in the dark, voice of some noir. Now the performance needs its final act. Your eyes, what exactly is the difference between a dream and the film? If it's truth you're after, think back on all these strange incidents you encountered along the way. That's where the truth about her lies. Calmly share the findings from your investigation in Theatre 4 with everyone. That's one thorough investigation. It seems you find your final answer. Wait, what am I? She's the one who confused here. I'm waiting around when the murder is standing right in front of us. Both of you remain calm. We'll leave the final verdict to Rex Tex. Rex Tex, to the series of tragic events. You're the only one who has witnessed and investigated every scene person. You can read the facts, the trust of this group. If needed, the strength to give a judgment. You should have the final say. Got it, alright, I'll do my best to piece together the truth behind this series of murders. About to make a final deduction. The direction of the story will diverge significantly depending on your conclusion. Think carefully and then make a choice. First, the true identity of the murderer, the one behind the deaths in Cinema Solaris, the one orchestrating these tragedies, is the person. Just this conclusion was proven from the very beginning. The murderer couldn't possibly be as a discord. Then the murderer must be one of the people in Cinema Solaris, or at least an intelligent being, that very being. Yeah, so is right here among us, or is but an illusion in the script? You chose a different path, one the detective wouldn't take. You won't follow the same one trail. You're an unknown variable, just as they once told you. Detectives have their logic, they need little boxes for the truth. What is the world inside that logic truly the whole truth? They like to think that's what's known and proven is the whole picture. Afraid of getting hurt, they strike first. Afraid of rejection, they reject others first. They are supposed to be better than others, ahead of others, above others, but who's left to fathom the unknown then? a detective story, like the detective story unfolding right here. Isn't it just an act playing out on the screen? So in this important fifth act, who is at the heart of all this evil? What dragged those nightmares into this place? The detective or the other, the outsider? Indeed, what's right under your nose is often the last thing you see. During the final round of investigation, you didn't encounter a single nightmare. They weren't drawn by a frequency, so what were they chasing? I don't know, but I guess kind of, yeah. There wasn't really a no. They were like the bosses that we fight counters like yeah. They weren't drawn by a frequency, so what were they chasing? The detective herself is shrouded in mystery. Why did she appear in the cinema? What makes her different from the others? Well, based on what the black cat and the white cat said earlier, and everything you experienced so far, there's no doubt that this place is a noosphere that recalls the frequencies of the past. Just as the keepers of the gateways, the black cat and the white cat oversee all frequencies entering the Somnoa. But they also mentioned that deep within the Somnoa there are vast unobservable pockets, akin to the data dead zones. Spaces like the cinema independent spheres that have slipped free from the gatekeeper's control. They operate on their own logic, relics from before the Somnoa even came to be. Others called them the reverberations of Solaris history that were destroyed by the global event. Where the faint traces of lives once lived, or the haunting echoes of destruction, they linger here. So returning to whatever faint traces of returning to who is at the heart of evil, the source of all these tragedies, is undoubtedly. I guess it could be reverberations or frequencies. Let's do this one. Is it the people of the past? But if so, why would they linger here, trapped in the form of a cinema, endlessly replaying stories of betrayal and murder? When you've eliminated the impossible, what remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Dark forces approach. Beyond the
I'm going to
Will the approaching sounds be beautiful enough? Symphony of life. Where is... Ha! Tosin.
Okay, I'm gonna defeat these two bosses and yeah.
Witness blossoms in wind.
My conclusion is there is no real murderer among us. Okay, that's the conclusion. As your words land, you catch a clear flicker of disappointment in the detective's eyes. As you look back on your journey, experience of the stories in the 4 films together with the companions, thoughts start to crackle, like embers racing along a tangled fuse. A flight of life, one by one, and suddenly everything's connected. I'll do my best to piece together the truth behind the cinema and this series of incidents. No matter how special the storytelling is in this mystery film, was to play the several parts, the truth isn't something sad or terrifying. The truth, huh? Talking about truth in a fiction script, how could an outsider like you possibly understand? Wait, what script? What are you even talking about? What are you? Enough. Snap, with a sharp snap of her fingers, the last light in the theater dies. Darkness swallows the room. In the void, her unblinking eyes find yours. Since you're not gonna wrap this up the usual way, it's time for the irrelevant ones to leave. Then a heavy thud, something solid hits the ground, like flames being snuffed. Film producer, camera operator, and film operator stop breathing. They fall unconscious, collapsing to the theater floor. Well, this is a surprise. So Rex, you're not here to play detective in this act, but to challenge the cinema itself and me. So you're sure your trail points to some murderer in the cinema. But I want to know, why does this cinema even exist? Can rushing to wrap up the case and slapping on a convenient explanation really get us to the truth? Just some lost visitor, and yet you claim you can uncover the truth. Do you really have the clues, or are you just spinning your own story? This may just be a patchwork of guesses, but whether I'm understanding things or not, you can decide for yourself after hearing. The clues to the story probably begin with 2 cats, close at odds, yet never apart. Like all stories of rise and fall, your world once had a dazzling civilization long ago, so bright no one could look away. But then one day it came, drawn to that brilliance, reaching out by instinct. People fought desperately to protect their home, but no matter what they tried, nothing could stop it. As the end drew near, 2 cats from the dreamscape world appeared. Your world is ending, there's no stopping it. They told the last of the survivors. Fought long enough, now it's all over. You've done well, leave the rest to us. We'll preserve your story in a dream, even if your home is lost, even if your people vanish, even if your words and history fade away. At the very end of time, dreams will still remain. That was the Black Cat's promise. The cats pleaded with them, but the people refused surrender. They fought to their last breath until annihilation swallowed them whole. After that, the black cat and the white cat standing amongst mist ruins found themselves divided. Should they, as the black cat suggested, use the ruins as nourishment for dreams and send them through the gateway, while the white cat hoped, saw everything within their dreams. They couldn't agree, so they first decided to shelter it all within a dream. But even the faintest ember of light was enough to draw its attention. It hid within the wreckage of dreams, and slipped into the world beyond the gateway. Bound by their promise to their creator, Black Cat and White Cat had no choice but to fragment the dreamscape realm into separate layers, severing them one by one, and erasing themselves along with the tainted dreams, all in an effort to seal it within the deepest layer. Time drifted on, reborn as before, and the cats obey their maker's will, lingering in the upper layers to gather the once fading dreams, until one day the amassed dreams seeped down into the underwater realm. At that moment they felt a stirring from the deepest layer. Once again, the Black Cat and White Cat stood divided, so that they reconnect with the deepest layer and preserve the entire dreamscape, stay in the present, no matter the cost, and protect the dreams still lingering at the entry layers. Yet unlike the hesitant gatekeepers, some residual frequencies stranded in the underwater realm were ready to rise again. They were ready to finish the fight, to stand their ground and never yield to it. And if they had forgotten their original forms, even if their memories, records, and beliefs lay scattered in fragments, they still waited, silent, lightless depths, slowly piecing those fragments together, weaving them into countless films. Perhaps it would never understand this, humanity's greatest wisdom, its sharpest weapon, and has always been fiction. Because fiction was the first step out of caves, lit only by flickering shadows, it bound them in shared dreams as they moved forward as one. Through stories, they became known as primates, going on to dominate this world, and so even stories born from shared dreams and whispered myths can still spark the flame anew. That is why this place bears the name Somme Noir. Without a soul, there is no somnium. Without a soul, one cannot set foot here. Visitor, now every film in the cinema has been set ablaze for you. Tell me, can you see? Sound lost memory. Voice of Somme Noir. In the deepest darkness, its gaze is fixed upon you. Piecing together every clue, you recount the story step by step to get to the truth behind the cinema. Somme Noir's origins are still a mystery, but you keep drawing lines back to the lament of the past. Until your story is cut short, a sudden surge of nightmares crashes into the scene. Ugh, watch out. Watch out. As that mark on the back of your hand glows suddenly, a familiar sensation washes over you. A beat tumbles out in a rush. Hey Dex, this thing, it feels kinda familiar. Did we beat something like this before? Almost hit the enemy. Oh, got it. Don't worry, Dex, I've got your back. Here's from the end, the White Tower. Sound the ears can't pick up reaches you. When the nightmares want from its gaze, those hollows frequencies can still let out a roar that heralds the end. Stay fearless. We're right behind you, facing nightmares behind the Somme Noir.
Will the approaching sounds be? Hold. Prepare to beat.
Windstorm! Sweep all away!
You ready? Ready. Absolute cadence. Witness. Blossoms in wind.
The battle is over, and the last trace of the nightmares dissolve into nothing. A slow clap echoes through the cinema. You turn to see the detective smiling. She's impressed. Flashback, I totally give you props for the fight scene just now, but pity. The story is still missing any real proof. Honestly, it's full of gaps, just a bunch of punches, trying to make the truth sound all poetic, so you oversimplified everything. Someone trying to play the great detective in a mystery film that was hardly a satisfying closing scene. She deliberately pauses, as if gauging a reaction. But I've got to say, I don't hate it. Fiction and fairy tales, who would even listen to such an absurd story? Well, even if he cheated, at least the final act got a decent ending. As our words fade, the carpet and walls begin to melt. Something like water brought to boil, something unseen, some invisible foundation has shattered. The scenery of outside the cinema slowly comes into view. Is it the orange glow of sunset? No, it's the harsh blaze of a dying star. As it closes in, it melts the city and sky into nothing. All that's left is the final ember, bleeding, smoldering orange, featuring the edge of darkness. As the first person to see how this movie ends, got any questions? So who knows, maybe there was, or why would the fifth part have to be written this way? You know, watching it myself, I realized how much of an nonsensical flop it becomes once cut into a film. If there is next time, I'll cook up a better script for you. She looks at you with the exact same expression you've seen everyone you woke up in the theater. He's hoping the world you wake up to doesn't leave behind another half-baked story like this. As the lights flicker back to life once again, you wake up in the theater. A flood of white light lingers on the screen. Looks like the film's over, right? There's a crowd, but the theater is empty. No, not just the theater. No, not just the theater. The whole cinema. The whole of cinema solar and said there's a... Once again, the familiar gateway materializes as the whole. Warm sunlight spills through, washing over you, filling you with a sense of peace unlike anything you felt before. There's a sense of somewhere far beyond the sun. Is now calling. The some unanswered questions still remain. It seems Solaris Film Festival has reached the final credits. Next, where did everyone go all of a sudden? As a detective. The film festival is over. Okay, not so much up, but let's head down. Except the rest of that film. Will you fill me in on what happened later? Sure. Judging from the detective's words, there's more to those films than just a warped tapestry of your mind. Something deeper is hidden. Maybe one day you'll return to this place and you do. When you do, maybe you'll finally find the answer she left behind. Completely revive the right same house members, ending 3 unlocked. Great luck with that. Okay, that's the whole. That's like one part of the final movie, like one ending. The final movie. So yeah. Okay, yeah, that's it. I think I'm gonna look back and see what I need to do to unlock the other ending. And yeah. So if you enjoyed this review, story, video, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below and share the video. See you guys later in the
What a
next.
divine
See you
breeze.
guys later in the next WutheringWaves video. Peace.